What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. I'm Michigan Sports Talk here, and in this one we got some recruiting news as Michigan just lost 2 defensive line commits in the 2024 class. Gonna be going over those and also what recruits Michigan could circle back to in the 2024 class, as they have now lost 3 defensive line commits in the past month. We also got the latest on Makari Page, Will Johnson, and Rod Moore before the game against Bowling Green tonight. So it's all going to be in this video and more, so let's go ahead and get right into it. So I first want to start with the recruiting news, as we obviously got some bad news last night as the 4-star defensive lineman Jared Smith and the 4-star edge Jacob Smith both decommitted from Michigan and flipped their commitments to Kentucky. They were obviously committed in Michigan's 2024 recruiting class. Jared was committed to Michigan since April, and Jacob gave his commitment to Michigan in the summer. So now there has been crystal ball predictions in for Kentucky to flip them since August 15th, and there were a lot of crystal ball predictions going in Kentucky's favor, so we kind of did expect this. However, we were all just hoping Michigan could try and keep them and convince them to stay here. Now, they originally were playing in Connecticut, and then they transferred to Corbin High School in Kentucky in their home state. So they moved back to Kentucky, which is their home state, and it basically opened the door for Kentucky to make a big push on them. So it's definitely a big loss for Michigan, and we obviously just lost the 3-star linebacker Montrez Walker in the 2025 class a couple days ago, and we also lost in the 2024 class the 4-star edge Elias Rudolph, as he flipped his commitment to Miami last month. Now Michigan is still going after Elias Rudolph, trying to flip him back, and I'm sure they'll try to get him back on campus to see a game day experience, and maybe Michigan can do the same with the Smith brothers. But with the Smith brothers decommitting from Michigan and flipping their commitment to Kentucky, Michigan now falls out of the top 10 in the 2024 recruiting rankings. They are currently ranked number 12 now, so it's definitely been a rough go as of recently for the 2024 class. However, I do think Michigan will be able to flip some commitments before National Signing Day, especially if they have another great season and if they are competing for a national championship. Signing day is a ways away still, and Michigan can still do some damage in the 2024 class. Now Michigan is left with just 2 edge commits in this cycle now, with the 3-star edge Dominic Nichols and the 4-star on 24/7 Sports composite rankings, the 4-star edge Devin Baxter. And as far as defensive line commits go, Michigan has the 4-star defensive lineman Ted Hammond, the 3-star defensive lineman Manuel Beagle, and that is it for the defensive linemen. So Michigan definitely going to have to circle back to some recruits, and we've said it before, Michigan is still going after Elias Rudolph, trying to flip him back from Miami, but I'm sure Michigan will look at some other potential senior risers in the 2024 class that they could potentially steal. Now one guy is the 2024 4-star edge Brian Robinson, who Michigan was leading for a long time, but then they kind of lost momentum, and I think kind of stopped recruiting him a little bit, and since then Kentucky has now picked up the momentum. But Michigan could circle back to Brian Robinson if they wanted to, so we'll just have to wait and see. I'm sure there's going to be some talk about Michigan potentially flipping other edge commits that are committed elsewhere to schools, especially to weaker programs. But as long as Michigan is playing good on the field, and as long as they have another successful season like they should, and especially if they go out, compete in the national championship game, and potentially win it, I don't think we should really get worried about recruiting right now, especially with the transfer portal. And like I said, Michigan can flip commits before National Signing Day. They've done it before in the past, so just gotta wait and see. But some tough news there for Michigan. And then another thing I wanted to talk about in this video is the latest news on the secondary injuries for Michigan as they are playing at Bowling Green tonight at 7:30 p.m. Now, Mike Sainristil gave a little update during the week that Makari Page and Will Johnson were practicing. However, Rod Moore was still working through his injury, and according to On3 and the Wolverine, Moore might have a lingering issue similar to linebacker Nikhai Hill-Green's last season. However, they said the injury isn't similar at all, and Rod Moore is improving daily, so we shouldn't see Rod Moore this week. They said he should be back in the mix next week against Rutgers. Don't want to take any chances with Rod Moore because he is one of our top safeties and a very key piece to this defense, especially against tougher competition. So now Will Johnson and Makari Page could potentially see a few snaps this week. However, they probably aren't going to play that much at all, just because of precaution. They want to make sure they're all healthy for Big Ten play. But basically, Will Johnson and Makari Page, they could play. Rod Moore is just the one that really needs to get healthy, and he has a lingering issue. But Michigan's defense has done phenomenal without him so far. I know it's against weaker competition, but it's also giving younger guys and guys on the depth chart some experience in playing time. Transfer Josh Wallace has been playing phenomenal for Michigan. He will probably be the starter next to Will Johnson. Keshawn Harris has also played good at corner, and safety Keon Sabb and Quentin Johnson are also getting their shots at safety. So that's the latest news on the injury updates on Michigan's secondary. Also, Darius Clemens, we could potentially see him back tonight against Bowling Green, but he is going through something as well. But other than that, that is going to wrap up today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure you guys go ahead, drop a like, comment down below, and subscribe for more if you are new around here. I greatly appreciate it, but we will see you guys in the next video. Go Blue.